there's a few different kinds of ways to do music, right? There's the kind where you sit back and you wait for everything to come to you, and there's the kind that just gets up and goes and does it. And we just got up and did it. I mean, the Doughboys, we went and we did a whole American tour, 4 months, like 70 cities, before our first record ever came out, before we ever played at home. I mean, the first show we ever played in Montreal as the Doughboys was the last show of our American tour.
You always had a good response over in France, for example. You think it is a fact of being a Canadian band or so?
Yeah, I think so. Where we're from Quebec, right? And that's it's a totally French province in the part of Canada. So I think that the fact that we're from Quebec going to France, there's a connection there. Like I think normal bands only play 2-3 shows in France, and we go there and play 10. So
yeah, I mean, there's like a cultural exchange, obviously, because their cultures are obviously similar. I mean, it's French-speaking culture, and I mean that's what Quebec stems from. You know, is from you know Paris and places like that all over France. So I mean, we're working in Canada. We're working with music stations like Music Plus, which is the majority of that is French speaking. But we are from Quebec, and they help us out.
Yeah, they're really supportive of us, and the French people in Quebec are really supportive of our band too. So I think that translates into France too, because French in France have been really supportive of the Doughboys.
So if could I say, like for the underground scene over in your hometown, I think it's Montreal, is in Quebec. Is it like music station, radio stations are important for the things you do? Or is there a good contact? Or
well, that's the thing about the difference between like America, Canada, and Europe is in America and Canada, college radio plays a big part in underground, alternative, whatever you want to label it as, music, right? And basically all it is music that can't be heard on the big FM stations these college radios pick up and they play. As for Europe, it's all done through media and magazines, which is a totally different story. And you get to the same point, it all reaches the same peak, but it's just done differently. So
I mean, I mean, if you're a fan of alternative music, there's beyond stuff for you, you know. I mean, there's campus radio, which is college radio. You can hear the bands, you know, and most major cities across Canada and the United States have it, sometimes even 2 or 3 stations per city. Whereas you guys have all these magazines, and you can learn about, you know, bands that interest you and stuff, which is great.
The thing about American or Canadian college radio is it used to be that like I said, the place that would play records like the Doughboys where FM stations wouldn't. But now all the major labels are seeing that, and they're coming in and they're laying the bucks to these college radio stations, so I think they're swinging a little more to the bogus end of it, if you ask me right now. In America, the popularity of a band all comes down to one thing, and that's money. If they put money into you, you'll be popular. If they put no money into you, no matter how good your record is, no matter how good your band is, if they don't put any money behind you, you're never going to hear it. Is what it flat comes down to. And there's a few lucky ones that squeak by, which will never do that well if they have no money behind them, but they can still reach a certain point. But it all comes down to money. Music is a really bad game, basically.
Quoting April Wine, rock and roll is a vicious game.
There you go.